Hello everyone, my name is Cherie and today I have a little TBR video for you guys. I'm going to be on vacation starting November 20th and heading back to work on November 30th. So pretty much Thanksgiving week and an extra day. And with the time off that I've taken, I figured that I could get a lot of reading done. So I wanted to create a TBR for this week, but I also wanted to give myself some challenges. So I ended up creating some challenges. I guess you can say that I kind of created a little readathon for myself. I do really enjoy readathons, but most of the time during a readathon, I'm at work, so I never really have time to read. But now I have time and I've given myself 5 challenges. The first challenge is to read a 2015 release, and for that I've chosen Girl at War by Sarah Novich. Now this is a book I had planned to read a few months ago, but I didn't get to it. Now this is a coming of age story. It's set in Yugoslavia and New York, and it begins in the 1990s. I was reminded of it on Goodreads because they're doing the Goodreads Choice Awards. I think that's what it's called, but I remember being intrigued by it when I bought it, and I think it'll be good to read right now. And the next challenge I gave myself is to read a book that helps me move forward in a series. I didn't want to give myself a challenge to read an entire series or read a trilogy. I have a bunch of series on my shelf that I need to read, or I've read the first book and I need to continue on with the series, so I figured this would be a good challenge for me. And the book I chose was The Magician King by Lev Grossman. This is another book I had planned to read a few months ago, and that is actually a trend with this TBR. It is an adult fantasy and the second book in a trilogy, and what I would say this series is kind of like, if you could go to Narnia as an adult, what in the world would you get yourself into, and who would you actually meet? I am really excited to continue on with this trilogy. Hopefully I can definitely read it during the week and then maybe pick up the last book in the month of December and finish that before the end of the year. The next challenge I gave myself was to read a book with fall colors on it, and for that I chose The Turner House by Angela Flournoy. This book has yellows, oranges, greens on it, and it also has leaves on the back, so I definitely thought it would be a perfect fall color book. It's the story of a family who comes together back to Detroit, and I guess they try to figure out what to do with their family home because the mother, she is ill and she's not able to take care of herself. I'm really excited to get to it. I've been meaning to read it for months, and it just seemed like the perfect time to read it since Thanksgiving is right around the corner. The next challenge I gave myself is to read a fantasy. It just seems like the perfect time, and for that I chose The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I have been meaning to read this book for over a year, and it is about time that I finally do it. I know it's the first book in a trilogy. I know it's set in the future, but it's kind of reverted back to the past, like there's no technology. I've heard nothing but great things about this book, and I'm just really excited to read it. And the last challenge I gave myself was to read a book I just felt like reading, and actually I have 2 books here, and the 2 books I have are Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, and then I have Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman. I don't know which of these books I will be picking up. I definitely want to read both of them before the end of the year. I know Legacy of Kings is a young adult fantasy, and it's the first book in a series, and it's also like a retelling of Alexander the Great. And Wolf Hall is the first book in a trilogy, and it's also kind of a retelling of Henry VIII. I'm not sure which one I'll use for this challenge, but it will definitely be one of them. So that is my TBR for my, I guess you can say, my Thanksgiving break. Do you guys plan on reading a lot during the week of Thanksgiving? I know I'll end up seeing a family on Thanksgiving Day, but the other days I will have a lot of free time, and I will hope to get a bunch of reading done. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!